The 12 Dancing Princesses. Once upon a time, there was a king who had 12 beautiful daughters. Every night, he would lock their bedroom door from the outside, but every morning, their shoes were completely worn out, as if they had been dancing all night long. The king was desperate to solve this mystery. He made a grand proclamation. Whoever could discover the secret of his dancing daughters within 3 nights could marry one of them and become heir to the throne. But there was a catch: anyone who tried and failed would pay with their life. Soon, a prince arrived, eager for the challenge. He was given a room next to the princesses, with his door left open so he could watch them. But as evening fell, a strange drowsiness overcame him, and he fell fast asleep. When he awoke, he saw the princess's shoes, riddled with holes, but had no idea how it happened. The same thing occurred the next 2 nights, and sadly, he met his fate. Several other princes followed, but all failed in the same way, and none survived. Around this time, an old soldier was traveling through the land. He had been wounded in battle and could no longer fight. As he walked through a forest, he met an old woman. "Where are you going?" she asked. "I have no idea," the soldier replied politely. "But I would love to find out where the princesses dance. If I could, I might become a king one day." "Well," said the old woman, "that's not so difficult. Just be careful not to drink any wine that the princesses offer you. Pretend to drink, but don't, and then act as if you've fallen into a deep sleep." She then handed him a small cloak. "When you wear this," she explained, "you will become invisible. You can follow the princesses without them ever seeing you." The soldier, grateful for her advice, took the cloak and decided to try his luck at the palace. The king welcomed him just as he had the others, giving him fine royal clothes and showing him to the room beside the princess's chamber. That evening, just as the old woman had predicted, the eldest princess came to his room holding a glass of wine. The soldier put the glass to his lips but secretly poured the wine away. He then lay down on his bed and began to snore loudly, as if he were in the deepest sleep imaginable. When the 12 princesses heard his thunderous snoring, they couldn't help but laugh. "This old man should have known better," the eldest said. "Now his curiosity will cost him his life." In their room, they pulled their most beautiful dresses from their wardrobes and began to get ready. The youngest princess, however, felt a sense of unease. "I don't know what it is," she said nervously, "but I feel like something terrible is about to happen." "Don't be so silly," the eldest scolded. "You're always scared. Have you forgotten how many princes have failed? As for this soldier, I doubt I even needed to give him a sleeping potion. He would have fallen asleep anyway." Once they were all dressed, they peeked in on the soldier. He was still lying motionless, snoring away. Believing they were safe, the eldest princess went to her bed and clapped her hands. With a soft rumble, the bed sank into the floor, revealing a hidden staircase. The invisible soldier watched as the princesses descended one by one. He quickly put on his cloak and followed them down. On the stairs, he accidentally stepped on the hem of the youngest princess's dress. She cried out, "Help! Someone grab my gown!" "Don't be silly," the eldest called back. "You probably just caught it on a nail." At the bottom of the stairs, they entered a breathtaking forest where all the leaves on the trees were made of pure silver. The soldier, wanting proof, broke off a small branch, which made a loud snapping sound. The youngest princess heard it. "I'm sure something's wrong," she whispered. "Did you hear that? That's never happened before." But the eldest just replied, "That's only the sound of our princes cheering for our arrival." They continued on and came to another part of the forest, where the leaves were made of gold, and then a third part where they sparkled with diamonds. Each time, the soldier broke off a branch as evidence. Finally, they arrived at a large, shimmering lake. Waiting on the shore were 12 handsome princes, each in his own small boat. As the princesses climbed aboard, the soldier slipped into the boat with the youngest princess and her prince. The prince began to row, but he quickly grew tired. "I don't know why," he panted, "but the boat feels so heavy tonight. I'm having to row much harder than usual." The youngest princess didn't know what to say and remained quiet. They crossed the lake to a magnificent castle, glowing with light and filled with the sound of joyful music. Inside, each prince began to dance with his princess. The invisible soldier danced among them, even helping himself to some of their delicious wine. The princesses danced and danced until 3 in the morning, by which time their shoes were completely worn out. The princes rowed them back across the lake. This time, the soldier got into the boat with the eldest princess. As they parted, the princesses promised the princes they would return the very next night. When they reached the staircase, the soldier hurried ahead of them, ran back to his room, and got into bed. When the 12 sisters tiptoed past his door, they heard him snoring loudly and assumed everything was fine. They put away their fine dresses, placed their ruined shoes under their beds, and went to sleep. The soldier said nothing the next day. He decided to follow them again for a second and a third night. Everything happened just as before. On the third night, he took a golden cup from the castle as one final piece of proof. On the fourth day, the soldier was brought before the king. He had the 3 branches and the golden cup with him. The 12 princesses stood listening nervously behind the door. Well, the king demanded, "Where have my daughters been dancing their shoes to pieces every night?" The soldier replied, "Your Majesty, they have been dancing with 12 princes in an underground kingdom." He then told the king everything he had seen, presenting the silver, gold, and diamond branches and the golden cup as proof. The king called for his daughters. Seeing the evidence against them, the princesses knew their secret was out and confessed everything. The king then turned to the soldier and asked which of his daughters he would like to marry. "I am not so young anymore," the soldier replied, "so I will choose the eldest." They were married that very same day. And when the old king eventually passed away, the clever soldier who had once been wounded and poor ruled the entire kingdom with his queen, the eldest princess.